No one cares about the Malice. The bans coming in are the Balgorn and the Barghest from Pandemic Legion.
First time we've seen PL ban the Barghest. In fact, Tuskers banned the Barghest.
I guess they kind of do care about the Malice, because the ban coming in from the Tuskers is Guardian Oneros, that Armor Logi combo. Again, and I can't say this enough times, apparently, that is the most popular ban from this Alliance tournament.
So this leaves all of PL's Shield teams up. And we've seen them bring the Navy Scorp teams in a bunch of different configurations. That's completely free for them. They can bring the Fiend with it. They can bring the State Raven with it.
They're not bringing the
Wink,
State
wink.
Raven. They're not.
They are.
Not.
They absolutely are.
How great would that be?
I'm with Fozzie on this. Completely on. What is it, a 2 trillion-esque ship or something?
It's ridiculously expensive.
It's not for sale. It may as well be infinite-isk. Do we see them bringing their Florpian?
That doesn't make any sense.
Flag Scorpion.
Yeah, I think it's possible. My guess is they don't bring it in this match, though.
Really?
I think they'd be worried about losing it and not having it for the next match. I think they save it.
Surely they just want to win. They win one, they're done.
Well, they win one, they're done, but they're cautious people. They scare easily.
What are we going to see Tuskers bring?
They'll be back in grid.
Are they going to drop? I mean,
we should be asking you this question. Zarvax, what do you think we see Tuskers bring?
Well, okay, so no Bar, no Barghest. They've shown a lot of competence with the quadruple Navy battlecruiser core. They just showed the double Floon EOS, the sort of standard core. What do you think?
I don't know, it's tough. The Floon teams are, you can bring that with the Tech 1 Logi. That is an option. We can see...
They fielded it with the quadruple Navy battlecruiser core as well.
You can see that with like even the 5 Navy battlecruisers. We've seen some of those. It's tough to predict which is, I'm sure, exactly what they are hoping for.
And hopefully we're going to see something brand new that no one knows anything about.
No Cerberus ban. They could bring the Rapid Lights.
Caracals, Cerberuses.
Yeah, we've seen Tuskers use that to great effect. That could be very dangerous.
Shields in play. Does PL maybe bring an Atana in this? Or do they stick with it? We've seen people bring the Atana because it's good, and we've seen people bring it because it's good, but have it not been the right ship for the match.
Yeah.
And we've talked about how the Scimitar or the Basilisk, well, the Scimitar anyways, can be a better Atana, and a better ship than the Atana in some of these times.
If you need to be really mobile, yeah. In this case, I think if they were going to bring the Atana, they'd be better off just bringing a Scimitar and using that unique ship slot for the Fiend. Or the State Raven. The Fiend, more realistically the Fiend. The Fiend, of course, you can only bring one Alliance Tournament prize ship, one unique ship per match. And if they bring the Atana, that means they can't bring a Fiend. And if you're going to spend that money anyways, I think you're better off just going Simi on the Logi, bringing the Fiend.
And they've probably got more Fiends than they have Atanas at this point. It's
very possible.
They bring up the chalkboard of...
They did win a bunch of them last year.
Yeah.
Because that was the prize from last year. Yep. And they did come first.
The Imp not really making a splash on the tournament scene this year, probably not ever. What kind of...
so the Imp's an interceptor. It gets a huge advantage from being bubble immune, but that's not something that you can get an advantage
worry about in AT.
It also is just very fast, easy to disengage with it. But again, disengaging, not something that you need to do a lot in the Alliance tournament. So its bonuses just don't match as well with the AT. The Fiend is a bit better of a match for this kind of arena format.
Now, you're on the CCP tournament team that actually makes those decisions, that helps create and balance those ships that we offer as prizes.
We tend to shift that around, actually, who takes the lead on each individual one. Yeah.
Really?
But yeah, I took the lead on this year's prize, the Rabisu and the KDs.
So if chaos erupts, you have only Fozzie to blame, which is a totally foreign situation to everyone at home.
No, we'll never do that.
I am looking forward to seeing how the KDs and the Rabis change the meta, at least for next year, in terms of how the bans come down. I'd like to see something other than the Guardian Oneros as a common ban coming up. That was, again, another popular set last year with that
we were just chatting a little bit earlier.
Prevalent.
I was chatting with CSP Mimic about the fact that we're going to need to change the rules. Right now, we actually don't allow you to take corpses into the arena. Our tournament tool doesn't allow that. It's sort of collateral damage for some of the other things we block, but we're going to need to make sure to change the tool to allow corpses to be brought in. So you can bring the corpses of your defeated enemies in the corpse bay on your Rabisu.
Interesting.
It's just really creepy. It's really genuinely creepy. Some of the stuff that happens in this office is really genuinely creepy.
Give us some examples.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. What I do want to think about is a player meetup that I forgot to mention in December of this year, so a little bit later than the ones that I mentioned earlier. There will be a player meet in Paris. I don't have all of the details on that. Some things yet to be decided, but if you're one of our French players or just cruising through the capital region at the time, feel free to stop in at the EVE meet in Paris. More details on that will be coming up on evemeet.net later on. A special reminder, and Zarvox, if you would hold this up.
Oh yeah, the shirt.
The shirt is still up for grabs. People saying some hilarious things on Twitter about me and my provenance, my family, my ability to provide 100% effective birth control if your significant other happens to bring this into the bedroom. Also, a great picture of a flag sheep. I don't know if you guys are cruising Twitter right now, but stop by my Twitter, follow if you'd like, and feel free to throw on a funny comment, a funny video, a capture screen grab from the AT, anything that earns you my respect and chuckles from our judgment squad in the back. You will be receiving this beautiful shirt. Take great care not to mess it up.
As I have just done.
Yes, this is
tried my best.
The worst folding job ever.
Oh, come on.
The worst. The teams right now are moving into their ships, getting ready to take the field. We have about 3 minutes before the third match of this broadcast kicks off. 3 minutes to offer up some opinions on who wins and whether or not we go to the full full 4 games for today's broadcast. I'd like to start with Zarvox, if you would. Based on the fact that Pandemic Legion has taken care of the Balgorn and the Barghest with their bans, and Tuskers going after Armor Logi, we're pretty much locked into shield setups unless someone wants to go for Tech 1 or Frigate Logi, and I'm not sure if anyone's willing to risk it at this point. What do we see coming? Who wins?
I have to say PL. I mean, they've got the flagship, whereas Tuskers do not. But at the same time, I really want to see Tuskers win because I want to see that last match. I want to see that final match. I wanted to go to the best of 5. But so I'm going to go with Tuskers. Yep. I'm going with Tuskers.
You're going with PL, but now you're going with Tuskers.
I'm going with Tuskers. That's my choice.
Spirit animal is the boar. CCP Fozzie.
I think Tuskers is going to bring the Rapid Light team. And I think that if PL brings the State Raven, they'll win. If they don't, they'll lose this match, and we'll go to the last match of the series. So I don't think they're going to bring it, so I think it's going to be Tuskers this match.
Tuskers this match. I think we're just about ready to go to the booth, who are going to provide some commentary. That's Chesser and Moderator, the men in ties with bright eyes who always surprise. They're going to take us away for the third match today of matchup 126, the championships of Alliance Tournament 14, Pandemic Legion versus the Tuskers Co. Oh. And as soon as the warp-in finishes, that's when the camera is going to take over. I thought I had it timed perfect. I was ready to go.
You're seconds off.
Yeah. I can say from experience, this is an incredibly stressful thing for both these two teams right now. They're landing on the field. They're just now seeing what the other side has brought. They're sweaty. They're shaking. These teams have both put in thousands of hours collectively, not just the people on the field, too, the rest of their alliances. We don't call this the Alliance Tournament for no reason. They have hundreds of people supporting them, buying ships for them, practicing with them, theory crafting, providing moral support. These are whole organizations that are throwing their kind of heart and soul into this. And if you're flying on the field there, you know you have all those eyes on you, that whole alliance counting on you. It's an incredible feeling when you win. It's soul-crushing when you lose.
Well, we'll find out how crushed their souls are in just about 10 minutes when this match concludes. For now, we go to Team Freedom. That is Chesser and Moderator in the box. Match 126, Tuskers versus Pandemic Legion in the championships of Alliance Tournament 14.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the booth. I'm Chesser, once again joined by moderator. We have Pandemic Legion versus Tuskers. Pandemic Legion at the edge of glory, trying to close it out and win AT14 with a Claymore, double Sleipnir, Scimitar, double Jackdaw, double Zvipperl, a Jaguar and a Stiletto. I don't even know. Moderator, what have Tuskers brought?
Tuskers have brought a pair of Sleipnirs, 2 Jackdaws, a Flycatcher, 2 Kitsunes, and an Orthrus, as well as a Cerberus.
I like Tuskers' play into what Pandemic Legion has. I'm not so sure about a Jaguar or a Stiletto, but match is starting now. The entire PL team, warped in fairly close, is burning straight away at Tuskers, who are burning away.
Yeah, that Stiletto's trying to get hard tackle on something, pin it down, so that the rest of Pandemic Legion can get on top of it at 0. Unsurprisingly, the Jackdaw and the Stiletto are going to be primary from the rapid light missile setup that Tuskers has. They've already got tackle.
Scimitar's been caught.
He's
Scimitar's
got tackle
been
on the
caught.
Scimitar. If they can hold the Scimitar long enough for Pandemic Legion to get on top of them, Pandemic Legion can close this right now.
Kitsune
down. Is that a boundary violation?
I'm not sure. Jackdaw down now. I mean, excuse me, Jaguar down. That's finally been killed by the RLML spam. That was a boundary violation. Yes, Kitsune boundary violated on Tuskers. That is crushing.
Yeah, Tuskers taking a page out of Pandemic Legion's playbook. That Scimitar is now held down perfectly. Meanwhile, only the Svipel's being primaried, but the Scimitar is able to hold it up.
Yeah, now they're losing a Zippel on the burn-in as well. Tuskers trying as hard as they can to kite away. That Stiletto, absolute hero, holding on to Skylar, but if he gets jammed or if Skylar can break free,
and now
I like Tuskers'
Was that
chases.
another boundary violation?
I'm double checking here. It looks like Tuskers ran right to the back.
Scimitar down for tanking?
What's going boundary on? Violated.
What's going on? Not
what
again!
Is this? What is this?
Pandemic Legion, what are you doing?
I don't even understand.
Again.
Pandemic Legion, do not choke. Do not choke. Tuskers just almost gave you in with a Kitsune gone. If I was PL right now, I would just be screaming.
Jackdaw down as well for Wayon. What is going on?
And you know what? Skylar is still tanking. He's still
holding. Pandemic Legion is going to lose.
They're completely.
Another Jackdaw's going to fall shortly. Low shields.
Yes. Their entire support wing is gone. Tuskers has double Sleipnir back with Cerberus Orthrus. They're going to be able to kite out the double Sleipnirs and the Claymore.
Pandemic Legion is all boundary violating. They're giving up.
They're giving up. Oh my God. The salt is flowing.
The salt is flowing. Pandemic Legion is tilted.
Oh my God. I do not believe it. They are boundary violating right now. This is madness. Tuskers has to be so proud of themselves right now. They have completely shaken Pandemic Legion. Next match, when we get there, will PL be able to bring their A game, or are they completely tilted, Mod?
I have no idea. There's no reason that any of this could have happened from Pandemic Legion. This is so out of character for them. I mean, not the boundary violation, that happens fairly often, but choosing to throw a match and get tilted is something that we almost never see from PL.
Okay, check. In local now, Pandemic Legion apparently, Dan Cool, 2 DCs. It seems that Tinking DC'd as well as another one of their players, so it may be server issues, not sure. I cannot say that's factual, but that's what's going up in local now. Modules apparently not working as well on a few other players' ships.
Yeah, we'll be.
But again, this is all unofficial, just local chatter.
Yeah, we'll be finding out if that's salt from Pandemic Legion going down, or if we can get the GMs to see what's going on in that. So just a Claymore and a Sleipnir remaining for Pandemic Legion.
Gotta settle down here.
What's going on here, Chesser?
Either DCs or absolute madness. If it was any other team, I would say definitely DCs, but because of PL's storied history making love to the boundary, I am not 100% sure I want to believe that just yet. Tuskers, however, boundary violating their own Kitsune, which was crippling because those 2 Kitsunes that they had were going to be very, very powerful. Right now, Tuskers in a commanding position over PL. I am wondering what's going to happen, at least on the back end of what we're going to do about this match. But if PL ends up losing this, they need to emotionally settle themselves and get ready, because this is the match they were going to win, and it started out so well for them.
Yeah, it started out so well for them. They got tackle on the Scimitar, which is exactly what they needed to do. They played it textbook perfectly, even though the choice of a Jaguar is a little bit sketchy. But what it does have is it has 5 shield mids, lots of tank. It's got the Assault Frigate signature bonus, and it can use that to run something down. It's a very quick ship. Unfortunately for them, it just popped, and then apparently so did their Scimitar. We're not sure what else is going on here.
No, I think that there's just been so much madness in the back line. It's going to be curious to see where we're going to be going forward from this. But either way, this is going to be a test of both teams' mental fortitude, their mettle, so to say, just because if Tuskers and Pandemic Legion do have to replay this match, or if Pandemic Legion is suffering a loss here. What?
No matter what, apparently they're not going to replay this match. It will stand. Right now,
okay.
Pandemic Legion is just going to have to reset themselves mentally and get prepared for the next match. They need
that must
to
be crushing.
recompose themselves in order to come back against Tuskers. Normally, I would have said Pandemic Legion closes this out. They're going to win. They have shown more composure, more stamina than Tuskers throughout. But if this throws them off and they can't reset themselves mentally and maintain themselves, I think Tuskers might be able to bring it back. Either way, this is going to be an exciting series, and Antiquarian, Zarvux Torval, and CCP Fuzzy will bring it to you.
Oof. And incredible loss for Pandemic Legion, having some difficulties staying on the grid or possibly some disconnections. Really not sure what happened there. There is a specification, a very clear clause in the rules for the Alliance tournament, whether there's a technical difficulty, a computer failure, a power cut, the result of the match will stand as is. And that's exactly as it's written. Is that not right, Fuzz?
Yep, yeah, there is a clause in the rules that say that the server simulation is taken as is. It's very possible that we're going to, of course, find out. It's very possible that we could have had, for instance, a issue with the connection across the ocean. That has happened in the past where we've had people get disconnected due to those kind of things. Internet issues, but no matter what happens, the match simulation is taken as is. And so we're going to, of course, see if we can get them all back online and stable for the next match, and they'll be working on that right now. But this is a win for the Tuskers.
Cable chomping sharks favor the Tuskers.
I mean, there was apparently a couple of people saying in local that, you know, my mod isn't working, and it does say specifically in the rules that you need to check this stuff before warp-in, and the match is taken as is. So
which is why we offer so much time before we actually warp the teams in, which is why we occasionally stumble here at the desk while waiting for that warp in.
With these kind of issues, the most common cause of them would be some kind of network issue, and if there is some kind of major one, then we have people investigating it.
And then, of course, there's the obvious chance that there was just boundary violations. You know, this is like Fozzie was saying before, we are playing for trillions and trillions of ISK. Even the difference between first and second place is approximately worth, 20 Titans or something like that. Huge amount. So these guys are playing and going to be pretty nervous and pretty jittery, and there could have just been a couple of boundary violations. We have, in fact, seen it several times from one of the teams in question. Maybe that happened. Who knows?
Let's talk about what we saw before everything fell apart. An unusual comp from PL.
Lots of command ships.
Lots of command ships. A Jaguar, which we don't see very often. Stiletto.
Not as common.
And then on the Tusker side, not quite as unusual, but still not the standard comp that we've seen with those. Help me out. The Sleipnirs, was that what they were at?
Yeah, they were Sleipnirs. Yeah, this isn't something we've seen Tuskers bring yet. It looks like it was artillery Sleipnirs from the Tuskers and probably autocannon Sleipnirs from PL. I didn't get to see a zoom in on the camera, but that would be my guess from those comps. The Tuskers team, the goal there would be to burst through things really quickly with rapid light missiles from the Orthrus and the Cerberus, and the artillery from the Sleipnirs, and the light missiles from the flycatchers. Meanwhile, PL would be more focused on pure DPS. I think one of the reasons you might go with Stiletto, Jaguar, they are a bit odd choices, but if you want to go have as much Mimitar as possible to help counter jammers. One of the things you can do to make jams less effective against you is to keep your number of races on your team, of the team's ships, as low as possible. So only bring Mimitar and Caldari, that kind of thing. Keep that number down. That means that any racial jammers that are not for those two specific factions that the other side brings are essentially wasted.
Unless they happen to pick all
Unless
of
they
that
guess
race,
correctly,
in which
yes.
case you're in trouble.
Do we have a word on how many boundary violations there were? Because there was a few. There was a Swipple and a Jag, I believe.
The first boundary violation was definitely the Kitsune on the Tuskers side.
Oh yes, of course. Apart from that one,
that was number one, and
Yep.
I think Tinkeng went over next.
That was the Scimitar.
Yes,
Yeah,
Scimitar,
Okay.
yeah.
Because we did see, I think, more than one on PL's side, but we also saw two of their ships at least get volleyed really, really quickly. A Swipple and a Jag both were seen going from full health, full shields, full armor, and maybe 2 or 3 volleys and they're down, which were indicative that the Sleipnirs were indeed artillery fit and they were being focused down by rapid lights. But there was, I think, perhaps, maybe they just, all of the volleys hit at once, but there was another Swipple that I think perhaps boundary violated. I'm not sure. Who knows?
We can certainly take a look at the video after after we don't have a monitor up here to go to review immediately, and we definitely have people in the back checking it out, seeing what's going on. Certainly for any sort of claim that might be coming from PL about what happened during the match. But I think a number of their ships after realizing that the match had definitely tipped against
After
them,
then, of course,
just opted
yes.
to pop out
absolutely.
and have a little bit of extra time,
Which is a huge thing at this point.
Yeah. That match set to finish just 1 minute ago, but of course finished some minutes sooner as a result of its truncated length. So what we have now is a 18-minute interval in which the teams can plan their next bans. Take a look at not just what they fielded, but what they just fielded, in order to get into the headspace of their opponents a little bit more, and
to get their people back online,
And
or
to get their
potentially
people
even
back
replace them.
Replace
If
them,
there's
yeah.
people that have an actual connection problem that is ongoing, then they may have to switch out to different pilots.
Now, the rule for that is that it can be any pilots in your alliance that have been members for 6 months.
That it remembers from we had a cutoff point written like very soon after we announced the tournament dates.
I don't think it was that long. I think it was less than 6 months. I think.
Yeah,
three
it's
months
not
or so.
we didn't choose it for a round number of months. We chose it for like matching up with when the announcement was. I don't remember the exact dates for it. But yes, anyone who's been in the alliance for long enough is eligible. So for Pandemic Legion, they have quite a lot of people to choose from.
Certainly they do. They have a lot of people in the Twitch chat, a lot of people online as well, participating in the discussion, making some claims about what may or may not have happened during that match, and Tuskers fans as well, chirping in virtual conversation combat, as it were, a cavalcade of chaos.
Whoa.
Sorry,
Whoa.
I get that way. It's
good.
It's how it works. We will be forced into